Welcome to the Mindful Spark. My name is Dave, and in this video we'll be covering the science from week 8 of the Reclaim Your Past, Reset Your Future series. And I suppose in some ways this is a recap of what we've learnt throughout the other sessions. And we started with the hand model of the brain, and we learnt about the fight and flight and the rest and digest part, and how if we're not in one, we're usually in the other, and how maybe breathing slower, making our exhales a little bit longer, can activate this rest and digest part, so we're happier. We get the happy hormones, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. And then after that we had the mammalian brain, or the memory and the emotional center, and how when we do mindful activities, when we're more aware, we can actually make the fear center less sensitive. So we don't tend to react as much, we're not as defensive, and we're more calm and relaxed. And the more we're in that state, the harder it is to get us to pull us out of it and become more stressed. And how by resetting during the day, we can keep in this calm state. And then the thinking or cortex part of the brain. And we learned about the task mode and the default mode networks. So when we're focusing on something, certain parts of the brain light up, and when we're daydreaming or projecting into the past or into the future or fantasizing, different parts of the brain light up, and they can compete with each other. So scientists and psychologists have noted that the more we tend to be in that default mode or in the past and the future, the more likely we are to be anxious, to be stressed, to maybe feel a bit depressed. And it's balancing out. So the key of nearly everything we do is learning to balance, have a balanced life, have a balanced brain, have a balanced body. And it's interesting, there's been a lot more research, and another piece of interesting research is where psychologists developed an app, and it was for passing a ball to each other in a game. And they got 4 participants to play on this app, and they connected them up with EEG sensors to be able to map what activity was happening in their brain. And after about 4 or 5 minutes, they had got 3 of the participants to exclude one of the participants. And once the participant realized that they were actually being cut out or excluded, the pain center in their brain lit up. So social exclusion, disconnection, registers in the brain as a painful event. The interesting thing is that no matter what we're going through, if it's an illness, if it's emotional, spiritual, relationship, employment, it doesn't matter what stressor we're under, they all tend to make us feel more isolated. This is happening to me. And when we realize that everybody has stressors and everybody has universal issues that they go through, everybody has loss, everybody is suffering, when we can stop taking things so personally, we're much more likely to have a happier, healthier life. And all the practices we do are trying to get us to that place by giving us choice. And as Viktor Frankl said in Man's Search for Meaning, between stimulus and response is a space, and in that space is our opportunity to choose. So when we can decide, no, do I want that thought? Am I going to follow that story loop, or am I going to do something else? Do I want to breathe slower? Do I want to be more aware? Do I notice the tension in my body and say, do I want to continue holding that tension, or would I like to maybe release some of it? So by practicing all these techniques, we have more choice, and then we're not feeling as trapped. And life can be so much richer and have more meaning, and we're able to have more fun and joy. So I hope these have been helpful. Thank you very much.